Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Eeks and Geeks.
Woo!
That
Yay.
was so lackluster for this movie. Wow, I'm
No,
really
I feel like you were
disappointed.
bringing the enthusiasm. I'm excited now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Siberia.
I'm Kirsten.
I'm Lauren.
And I'm Pumpkin.
Yay.
Hell
Yay!
yeah,
We did
We
brother.
did it. Los
So proud of
hicimos.
us. All right. Before we get into Train to Busan, has anyone watched anything this week? I know I have.
Oh
We
my God.
have together.
Oh,
I'm excited to hear about this.
I'm actually, I don't think I've watched anything, so I'm eagerly awaiting your review here.
Siberia
Girls.
and I went and saw Beau is Afraid. And
Mhm.
bro, we were afraid.
Bro, it is a movie that
It
I've
is-
seen.
It is a
Oh.
movie.
Mhm.
Okay.
Actors in it.
You know how people are saying Skinamarink is kind of like a nightmare you had as a kid?
Yeah.
Like taken out of your brain, projected on screen. Beau is Afraid is like that nightmare you have where you're like, oh shit, I'm late for school. And then like the stairs in your house are gone. And so then you gotta climb out the window and then you get on the bus and the bus goes in the lake and then
And the boat, and then the bus is a
Yeah.
boat, and then you
Yeah, and
And then
and
there's
then
a
you get on
naked
the
guy stabbing you.
yeah, and then there's spiders on the boat. And it's just like, and you're like, oh my god, I'm late for
It's-
school.
How
It's
the
Yeah,
fuck
it's
am I
just
gonna
like
get there?
in a
every
movie.
mundane situation just becomes like catastrophe.
Mm.
Like the worst possible scenarios. The
I'm-
whole movie.
It's
I'm
It's
intrigued.
funny. I actually
I-
honestly liked it, but I don't know if I'm gonna see it again anytime soon because it's a
Well, oh
lot.
no. I said, oh, I loved that. I'm never watching it.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
excited.
Yeah, I mean, all I'm hearing is that it's like the weirdest fucking movie ever.
Yeah.
And not many people
And-
are saying that it's in a good way, but I'm still just like, well, it obviously is interesting enough to like
Yeah.
give it a watch.
Yeah.
And I'm here to say that like a lot of iconic horror movies have an attic scene.
Mm-hmm.
This one definitely has an attic scene.
Oh, well, I was watching Cinema Joe's. He did like a recap of ranking the movies that he saw last month, and Beau is Afraid was pretty low on it. And he was like, and let's just say when they entered the attic, I knew I was out. And I was just like, what the fuck?
See, I was more in. They went up in the
I
attic,
was
and I
like,
was like,
what the fuck?
fuck? What the fuck is this movie?
Our
What
theater
is-
was laughing.
I think that's the other thing though, is like going into it expecting a horror movie, I think you're gonna be disappointed.
Mm.
Going into it expecting just like the
Agreed.
weirdest mind fuck, you'll probably love it.
Well, and what a good primer for you guys.
I do like
This little
I do-
run.
I do like movies that like you've like, oh, that scene is just like in the one that we just saw, Evil Dead Rise. It's like cheese grater. So, like when you like think of things, it's like, so that's interesting.
Yeah, Beau is Afraid, you're like, the attic.
Well, I was
Oh, the
asking,
attic.
Yeah.
I was asking Siberia, is it like really worth going to see in theaters, or like can I wait till it's streaming?
I think if you watch it around strangers, like in the theater around you, and they're in the same vibe as you and get it, it's really fun. Because then everyone's just like, what the fuck?
That's how it was
Together.
that's how it was when I went and saw Terrifier 2. Like you're just kind of like in a theater of people that are also feeling the same vibe as you, and it feels fun. Yeah.
But I will
Also-
say, when I say that, there were only like, what, 10 other
Yeah,
people in our
There was like
theater?
10
That's how it was in
people in
Terrifier
theater.
2.
Well, I was just about to say, I was like, well, I'm worried that if I go to and watch it in a theater, there's only going to be like 5 people there because it's been out for a few weeks.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of funny. I will say though, for me, I feel like this would be a movie that's kind of hard to watch at home because there are like slower points and it is a long movie. So I
Mhm.
know I would be tempted to pull out my phone and
Mm.
like
Oh, I was like,
yeah.
Well, see,
So-
I'm like, I don't really want to like spend the money and like waste 3 hours, not waste 3 hours in a theater, but like, I feel like I'm going to have a harder time watching a longer movie in a theater rather than home. I don't know.
I'm
See,
the opposite
I'm
way.
the
I'm like, if I'm in the
opposite.
dark
Yeah.
and I've paid to do it, I'm here.
Well, and I'm not gonna like disrupt the people around me. And it's a bigger
Mm.
screen with like
Mhm.
really loud audio. So I'm like sat and I'm paying
I'm
attention.
into it.
But
Mm.
at
I'm
home,
sat.
yeah, at home, like the minute a movie like gets a little like a slower point, I'm like, this is
Mm.
gonna what's up here?
Yeah.
I watched Goodnight Mommy, the German
Oh,
version,
thoughts?
because you talked about it.
Yeah.
Fucking, what the fuck? I love my mommy so much. That hurt my feelings.
It's pretty crazy, huh?
It is pretty crazy.
Ouch, my feelings. I had to
Ouch.
go give my mom a hug. I hated that. As a horror movie, it was very good.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
And
I need
then
to watch
I
it.
also, we kept talking about it, so I finally watched 28 Weeks Later.
Oh yeah.
Terrible news. Zombies can swim. So
Oh.
that is
Yeah.
awful news.
yeah, it's
Oh.
awful news. Yeah, and they know how to work doors and stuff.
No.
So, yeah.
Okay, Velociraptor.
Also, Jeremy Renner and Idris Elba were in it. I was like,
Jeremy Renner of the Jeremy Renner app.
yeah.
Of
Wow.
The Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner app.
Well, that's kind of wild. I feel like that's got to be one of the first roles that Idris Elba would have done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
probably.
was
Well, no, when did it come out?
2007.
Yeah, that's pretty. I feel
Pretty
like that's
close
pretty
to the
ahead of the
beginning.
curve for him.
Like I said,
He
I
was-
remember liking it, but that was like back then.
It's honestly, I liked it better than 28 Days Later, but I think
Yeah.
that's also just like it was a newer movie. Yeah, 2007.
Sure.
Mhm.
It was
You
like a
could,
newer
see
movie.
the pixels. You could like see the what was actually going on the
The
screen.
camera, knew what flowers were this
Right.
time. So.
That's always that's a plus.
Yeah, that's all I've watched.
I haven't watched shit. I was gone over the weekend, so.
I haven't watched
Well,
anything.
then, ending on that zombie movie, should we get into this week's zombie
Mhm.
movie?
Yes.
Like, this is like she's the it girl. She's like the it girl of the zombie movies.
She's
Like,
that
she's cute.
Mhm.
So this week's pick was obviously Train to Busan. And so the little like summary thing I'm gonna give is it's just about a father trying to get his daughter to Busan, and then it's about a father trying to get his daughter to live. Like it's just a fight for survival.
Yeah.
It's a zombie apocalypse movie. You should have watched it. I don't have anything else to say for you. I have some fun facts because the game I would have done would have been the same one that we did for the zombies about like
Oh, okay,
the running
yeah.
or the slow. So
Yeah.
like
Okay.
that's already been done. So this was this director's first live action movie ever.
Oh.
They only did animated features before this.
Slay.
That's like, was he like an anime director? Or I guess it would
That
be
I'm
anime,
not sure
like,
of.
because there was a few scenes that I was like, this is very anime, like the way that it was. That it
Yeah,
looked.
I want to look up his other works now.
Same.
This film recorded more than 11 million moviegoers in South Korea, which is like unheard of for horror
Wow.
movies,
Hell yeah.
especially in South Korea.
That's crazy.
South Korea. What just happened to me? I'm like nervous to talk about this movie because it's so good. Is that the only two I had?
That's me every time
Oh.
it's my episode, though.
You're always so nervous.
This is not the first Zombies on a Train film. Horror Express tackled a similar subject 44 years earlier, so it's not as good. But we have
haven't heard of
to
it,
appreciate the predecessors.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I've never even heard of
I
it,
mean,
so.
I mean she's obviously not the it girl because that's this movie.
But if
So
she
shall we-
inspired the it girl, then she's at least something.
True.
Shall we get into our final thoughts
Mhm.
on this Train to Busan? All right, Kirsten, give it to me.
This is a 10 out of 10. I fucking love this
Yes!
movie so much. Like it's got like you love the characters that you're watching, except for that one dumb motherfucker that like
God!
that mother
worst.
bitch ass. It like rips your heart into like a million pieces, and like it has like that like at the end of the mist, it has that kind of like air at the end, and you're just like I can't
Yes.
speak. I love this movie. It's so good. Like I said, for the
So good.
longest time, like 28 Days Later was my favorite zombie film, and then I watched this and I was like, oh nope.
Uh-oh.
Nope, sorry.
This is definitely took the crown on that spot.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's it. 10 out of 10. Love it.
Hell yeah. All right, Pumpkin.
Also a 10 out of 10. I saw this movie for the first time recently, and I just kind of like put it on. I was like, oh yeah, a zombie movie. Okay, I'll watch it. I've like heard of this title before or whatever. Literally sobbing in tears. I was like, that was fucking cinema. That's not just like a zombie flick. It's like fucking cinema. It's so good, like a horror movie that gives us smart characters, likable characters, like, and also I love the kind of zombies. I love that they're like, because I've heard that like one of the first things that goes with a corpse is like its eyes, like your eyeballs like melt or whatever.
Because they're like softest tissue.
Yeah, and so them being like kind of half blind like makes so much sense. I love everything about it. Yeah, 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah. All right. Lauren.
Oh my gosh. Obviously, this movie is so good from start to finish. I think one of its strongest features is the pacing. I think you get a nice little setup of like, you know, their life, and then you get like, you know, from when we, you know, we're getting like the first little whiffs that there's like something wrong, and then there's
that
like
deer.
The deer.
Yeah, and then like, you know, there's like phone calls, there's little tidbits on the news, and you're like, okay, something's going on, and then there's like all of the buildup on the train, the way that they like pace out, even like the train itself is almost like a metaphor for like how it builds like towards the front, and there's like all of this motion to like push towards different carts of the train, and then you know, they get off the train, you think they're good, and then there's like that starts a whole new beat of, so I just think like the pacing is so good and keeps the viewer interested the whole time. Again, yeah, the zombies are so good and so scary.
Yeah.
Love them. I would say like not trying to like not give us 10s across the board. I think I would give it like a 9.75. Only because I found myself a little bit bothered by the zombie inconsistencies. Which is like a little bit nitpicky, but it was like with everyone that I mean, this hear me out. Everyone that it infected, it was like instant, like they are immediately turned. But it was only like our plot relevant characters that it was like, oh, all of a sudden there's like a really long.
I think it depends on where you got bit too.
That's what I was gonna say. That's my theory. I noticed every character that got bit like on the neck or something, instant. If they got bit like on the leg or the hand, it took a lot longer. I noticed that because that first chick, she gets bit down here on the leg and it takes her a while, but she turns pretty quick. But then like our beefy beefcake husband, Beefcake, like he gets bit on the hand. Sorry, I'm like
that's
a
what
little
I'm gonna call him this whole episode.
I don't. Did he get a name? I don't. If he said his name, I don't remember it. His name is Beefcake. I've decided that. But he got bit on the hand. Took him forever to turn. Our daddy, he got bit on the hand. Took him forever to turn. Our train conductor, not train conductor.
Businessman.
What? Yeah,
like the shitty guy.
Yeah, fucking COO guy. I think that's what he said he was. Yeah, we'll call him asshole. He got bit. He got bit on the leg. Where did he get bit?
It was lower body. It was like
leg somewhere.
Area.
It took him a while, but then like cheerleader girl.
So I'm not saying you should give it a 10, but
well, and I also that's a fair point. I'll give it that. But then I also I like at the end when COO is. He's like, because I feel like, okay, regardless of how fast you turn, once your eyes are gone, you're like turned, right? Like everyone else, it was like once I think that's when once they're turned, they're turned.
I think it's like starting there.
I will say COO was the only zombie that I was kind of like, why are you still like semi?
Because he was like talking for like kind of a while. So I was like,
I thought it was based off like them fighting it, like their will to live. That's what I thought, because that whole time his like fucking will to live is like through the roof, and like
in a bad way.
And Beefcake has
derogatory.
Beefcake has his strong will to live. Like you could tell he's like trying to fight it off because he's trying to protect his like
he has sort of more of like a shaking it off thing, but then like once his eyes turn,
he was kind of
Not really. He was still he was still fighting it. Like when his eyes turned, like he was still fighting it.
I will say for COO, if they had like made his eyes getting like gradually cloudier, then I will agree. I'll give you that. That one it is sort of weird.
Is it worth 0.25 of a point? I don't know.
Well, and the first time I watched it, it's like not something that I noticed. I think it was just upon rewatch. It was like, I feel like if you're going to commit to like your zombie turn time, you need to do it whether it's your main characters or not. Like you gotta You got to stick with your rules if some people are gonna get like half a bite and like immediately turn. You gotta be a little bit consistent. But it's an incredible movie. Like it's a very
I'll give you
Yeah, it
that.
sounds like it.
oh my god, shut up.
Yeah.
Like the only thing that I was like, that could maybe have been because it's like
Yeah.
only our plot or like if it's plot driven.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Could you imagine? I'm just pissed at Lauren the whole rest of the
Shut
episode.
up.
The whole time you're just gonna be like, oh, so that's why it's
Oh,
really
you
half-
liked it?
half-
You really
really
liked
liked
it?
it?
Yeah.
Oh,
God
so
forbid
that
I
part
take-
was okay by you? I'm glad that
God
part's
forbid I take
okay.
off 0.25 points. I mean, it's like obviously the best zombie movie ever made, but
Yeah, I obviously give this a 10 out of 10. And upon rewatch, I actually liked it better the second
Me
time because
too.
I watched this in July of last year when I had COVID. I just like put it on because I was in this weird funk where I watched horror movies at like 9 a.m. I just like did that.
That's mental illness, isn't it?
Exactly,
Is it?
exactly 9 a.m. on the dot.
Yeah, I was like,
Nine
on the
months.
I'm
Horror
sad.
movie.
That's how I watched The Uninvited. That shit also slapped.
That's a great movie.
Hot dog, it's 9 a.m.
It's time
Time
for
for my-
me to shit my pants.
I gotta ruin
But-
my day, stat.
But this movie is like literally perfect in my opinion. Like it is so good. One of the most notable things about it for me is the zombie acting.
Yeah,
Like it is
Yes.
just so scary.
so scary.
Notably, I know you're listening. The girl who played the first stewardess to get bitten is
Yeah.
so scary.
Yeah.
Love
So
her.
Scary, yeah.
Friend of the podcast, she is.
She's a friend of the show.
We love her.
So yeah, I mean, I really don't feel like I have to say much. I waited a year just to pick this movie, so I give it a 10 out of 10.
You've
So that
literally
brings us to what? A 9.8.
Okay, fine. I'll fucking just give it a 10. I'll revoke my one itty bitty tiny criticism and I'll just give it a 10 to not ruin your little scoreboard.
We should bully Lauren more often. This is fun.
Yeah, I have
No, it's not. I was just kidding. I took the bit too far.
Mm.
What would
Okay,
that
I'm
be
sorry,
though
I'm-
with the 0.25?
I'm not doing that. I don't care.
It's like it'd be like a 9.99. It's fine. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my phone because it is so hot in here. I need to turn the AC on.
It's 9.8125.
9.81. Okay.
Oh, what did
Oh,
it get
well.
on Rotten Tomatoes? I'm curious. Hold on.
It's got like a 90 something. It's
Like a
crazy.
91, right?
Yeah, the act,
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, the acting all around is so
It
good.
has
from
a
the-
94
so good.
So
from
good.
critics and 89 from audience.
Also,
That's-
our main
that's
man is
crazy.
hot.
Yeah, that's
He's
crazy for a
daddy.
zombie movie.
Like he's a daddy, but also like he's daddy.
I remember when
he's
I first
father.
first watched it, I thought he was so attractive, but then like watching a second time, I was like, "Hello, beefcake."
Yeah, yeah.
I actually the first time I watched it, I didn't really think Beefcake was like I thought he was like okay, and then upon
Yeah,
a
same.
rewatch, I was like, damn.
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 Look at you mow
Damn,
through. Look
Daddy.
at you mow through those zombies.
Damn. Oh,
And
he's
he
just
did mow
punching
through
them?
them bitches.
Yes, he did. That's when I fell for him. As soon as he started that scene where he's just like going through, I was like, "Pooh!"
Yeah, I was like,
My eyes
Okay.
glazed over.
Are y'all ready to get into the plot?
let's
Okay,
do
to the
it.
top.
Fund manager Seok Woo is a cynical workaholic and divorced father of his daughter Soo-an, who wants to spend her birthday with her mother in Busan. Seok Woo sees a video of Soo-an attempting to sing Aloha Oi at her singing recital and succumbing to stage fright as a result of his absence. Overcome with guilt, he decides to grant Soo-an's birthday wish. The next day, they board the KTX 101 at Seoul Station en route to Busan. Other passengers include Okay, so for our
Go on.
listeners, this is a lot of Korean names, and I really don't want to butcher them because these characters are just so great, and I don't want to butcher these names. So we're just gonna go by how we identify them while watching the movie. And this first character was our beefcake. And if you watch the movie, you know exactly who this is.
It's the man married to the pregnant woman.
Yeah.
Yes,
But obviously,
and so we
Beefcake.
have the other passengers include Beefcake and his pregnant wife. We have a high school baseball team and one of the baseball team members' girlfriends, who is the school girl. And then we have this poor traumatized homeless stowaway is how the
Oh.
Wikipedia puts it,
Oh, yeah.
I
I
mean,
love
accurate
him.
description.
which is accurate.
Yeah.
As the train departs, an ill young woman runs onto the train unnoticed. She turns into a zombie and attacks a train attendant, who also turns. Discuss.
The fact that one person just like running on right at the very end, like they would have just been totally good. They would have just
Yeah.
gone their whole way to Busan.
Sped
Nobody
on
would have
by.
known.
Okay.
Also,
Can we... Oh, sorry.
oh, I was literally just gonna say Siakwu could get it.
I mean, yeah.
Yes.
He is so cute. Like,
He's
I
so
already
cute.
thought he was like pretty cute. The actor in Squid Games. I was already kind of like,
Mhm.
this guy's kind of cute.
Mhm.
But like, as a daddy in Train to
Yeah.
Busan, I was sipping
It's
over
more
him.
likely than you think.
Wait, okay. That scene where he's like talking to his mom and he like yanks off his tie and unbuttons his shirt. I was like,
One more time for the cameras, please.
I remember because I was like, oh yeah, hottie. And then when I saw him in Squid Games, I was like, oh my god, Train to Busan guy. And then we like never saw him again until the end, and I was like, damn.
Damn.
He's so hot. But the beginning of this with the zombie deer,
Yes.
It's so good.
The
fuck
setup
no.
is so good.
Mhm.
That I don't know why, but zombie animals are especially so.
Yeah.
I said to Joe while we were watching it, I was like, man, I would not want to be in a zombie apocalypse where the animals were infected too, because that would
Yeah.
just
Mhm.
suck so
Could you imagine a
bad.
fucking zombie bear running at your ass?
I mean,
Even
fair.
just like the
No.
thought of like in a survival scenario, like not being able to eat a lot of
Oh.
animals because if they're infected, it's like, oh my god, that would just
Wait, I have a silly
fucking
question.
blow.
I have a
What?
silly question. Can a bug be infected?
Maybe.
What if like a little
Maybe it's
what
like
if
a
a-
mammal.
what if a little ant what if a little ant crawls on you and goes
But what if it's
And then you're a
like,
fucking zombie.
yeah.
you know how like mosquitoes, they don't have malaria, but they can give you malaria because they have
Mm.
infected blood.
That's scary.
The bugs could probably give you your zombie whatever. You could turn into a zombie from a bug bite, probably.
I have to imagine that depending on the virus, because like viruses operate, I think you have to be like at a certain body temperature for them to be a host for them. I might
That's
be making that
true.
science up. So it's probably like only mammals. I would
Maybe.
Yeah,
I would
like
assume.
rabies. Like
Yeah,
rabies,
like
yeah.
if like
Yeah.
the host
It has
and
to, like,
like mammals.
survive.
Yeah, so I think it has to be like in a host that can. So, but that'd be crazy if zombie ants were running around. Like we'd be really fucked.
Well, they are the Last of Us. That attacks ants.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
whatever
Those
that
are
mushroom is
zombie
called.
ants. The cordyceps.
Cordyceps,
Ew.
that's what it is.
Oh,
I
that's
hate
true.
that.
Yeah, that is a thing. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how good the actress for Soo-an is?
Oh, she is so cute.
Good. Like
So cute.
best kid actor ever.
Like every time she
award.
cries, I'm like, damn.
Those like big puppy dog eyes. She's so cute.
So
The little
good. And they look
trembling
like father and daughter. Like for
Mhm.
I
real,
would
for
believe
real.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
she looks like him.
Him getting her the Nintendo after she literally just gotten it from him.
The way she looks, she just looks up at it. Like,
Thanks, Dad. And he didn't
And
even
is
get
the
her a
other
cake or
Nintendo in the room
anything.
with us now.
yeah. Yeah, it's
Uh,
just like a nice, it's not too long of a setup. It's just like a good, okay, we can see that he's a workaholic. We also get some tidbits of him on the phone about like this new place that he's operating. We see that he's a shitty dad. We see that he's a shitty son. We see that he's a shitty husband. And we get that all real quick. Like it's not drawn out. It's a nice little setup,
Yes.
concise, on the train, bitch.
mm-hmm. I gotta say, I don't know enough about what a fund manager does to like every time somebody's like, oh, he's a fund manager.
Nope.
This
Yeah.
guy. I'm like, I don't
this fucking
why
guy.
why does everybody know what that
This idiot managing funds.
Ugh,
I'm on it.
what an
Yeah.
asshole.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't why does that
Okay, I'm guessing it's
Okay.
probably just like the same thing as like a Wall Street asshole
Yeah.
to us.
Okay.
You know?
guess so?
Fund managers are responsible for making sure that accurate accounting records are kept for investment funds. So yeah, I guess just like Wall Street guys, like making sure that you
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
managing trading activities, high profile financial services. Yeah, okay.
Beefcake hears
Stuff
he's
like
a
that.
fund manager and it's just like that asshole.
He's
And
like,
I'm
literally,
Okay.
fuck you.
yeah, I'm like, I don't know what that means. Why are we mad at him?
He's
What,
a
what's
slay
happening?
and he's trying his best.
He's trying
He's
to
not
support his
really
family.
though.
He's not
No.
really.
Yeah,
Well,
not
he
really.
does once the zombies attack, he tries his best.
Yeah, once it's too late. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once the world is like over.
And honestly, needing quite a bit of convincing and guilting from his like 5-year-old daughter.
Oh yeah, being like, I really just want to see my mom. You just got me the same present you got me 6 months ago. Can I please go home?
Can
Well, I
just
mean,
go
the
to
part where
somebody
she's
that
like-
cares about me?
Yeah, the part where she's like, you only care about yourself. And he's like,
Yeah.
damn.
Which we're not at that point where she says that. But can I say, I was specifically thinking about how we were complaining in Crawl when like the father and daughter are literally in like a life or death situation. There are alligators. Like they could eat you at any point, and they're like, let's have a whole long conversation about like why mom left you. And I'm like, now's not the
Yeah.
time. Now is
There's
not the time.
There's a part where
See you later,
Beefcake
alligator.
says something to him too, like about, I don't know, like saying that he's a piece of shit. And it's like, this is not the time. It's like when they're in the bathroom or
shut
something.
up.
And it's like, everyone shut the fuck up about like his job right now. It's really not important.
But
I don't think his job exists anymore.
Yeah, I
So
think he's done.
there are no funds to manage.
Everyone
Leave
is
the poor guy
officially
alone.
Everyone's unemployed now.
Yeah,
so-
everyone is officially unemployed.
But I was gonna say, like, at least like, because in Crawl it was kind of annoying because you're like, we're gonna die. Please stop
Mhm.
having this conversation. But at least when Suan takes that moment to like say that to her dad, it is like a moment where they are safe, and it's just like
Mhm.
real quick. It's just a one quick
Yeah.
like, you only
Yep.
care about yourself. That's why mom left you,
Yeah.
and then we like keep it moving. And I was
And
like,
he's
"See,
kind of just
which is
like, damn.
yeah." I
Yeah.
was like, but horror movies, this is how you do exposition. Like this,
Mhm.
please.
Mhm.
We
which
don't.
is what I appreciate, because like this movie has a lot of sections where they are like quote unquote safe, and they
Yeah.
can have like human conversation.
Yeah, like
You
in the
know?
middle of carts.
Yeah.
Zombies on both sides, like.
I love that our characters are smart. I hate in like
Mhm.
horror movies when your characters are just like fucking stupid.
Mhm.
Like in 28 Days Later, when they don't just like cover up the windows when they're staying at
Mhm.
his parents' house and the zombie jumps through the window because it sees the
Yep.
candle. And I was like, but in Train to Busan, they cover up the windows. And I was
When
like,
she
thank
like puts the
you.
water on the window in the newspaper, I'm like, genius.
Yeah, so
Thank
genius.
you.
Yeah.
I will say there was a
you.
part though, like when she first like falls over and she's like biting her, and they're just like, "Huh?
Yeah, everyone's like, what's going on?
What's going on here?"
Have that
Well,
reaction
to
too,
be
though.
fair, I think I would do that too. I'd be like, "What the literal fuck is
Like, is
happening?"
that lady? Are they like wrestling?
No,
Wait, is that lady
I told
fighting
you
her?
I told you in the last episode, the second I see some zombie ass activity, I'm gone, bitch. I'm not waiting to see if you're okay. Like, I'm sorry if it's any of you guys, but I'm out of there. The second you start like you're done.
Nah.
I'm out. We haven't even gotten
I'm
to
just
like
gonna
the
start
zombies.
randomly acting like a zombie around you, just to, like,
Okay,
freak you out.
bitch. Well, good luck.
Lauren just pulls out a gun.
I'm gonna pull 28 Days Later.
Yeah, don't do it at my house. You've seen the weaponry going on in my
Yeah,
Pull
house.
out a
swords
sword.
galore.
They're
Um,
just standing there like it was a joke.
You
That-
you're Bill Murray in Zombieland, like pretending to be a zombie.
Yeah.
Xavier is just on the floor like
Guys, come on. Where's the other half of me? Come on, guys.
the other half
Guys.
of me.
That schoolgirl though, she had some riz when she like came over. And she
Yeah.
was like, if I say that I like you, you're supposed to just say thank you and accept your fate.
Mhm.
I
And
was
everyone's
like,
like,
Exactly.
oh.
Get it, girl.
Slay.
Girl.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
confident.
I really
That's
liked the baseball boy couple.
Mhm.
I did too,
moments. I think
yeah.
they're really
Cute.
cute.
We'll get to them when we get to their end, but God, ouch,
Mhm.
ouch, 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 ouch.
Rough.
My
Yeah.
heart.
But I do love them, and I love like the whole baseball team intro.
Mhm.
Same.
I do like that the first chick that like runs onto the train that's been bit, she like tries to tourniquet her leg.
With like a
Mhm.
shoelace, she's like,
But I was like, at least she like recognizes like,
Yeah.
okay, something has happened to me. Maybe I can stop it instead of just like trying to hide the bite and be like, hey, everybody, I'm fine.
I'm
It's all
totally good and
chill, actually.
I like having smart characters in a zombie movie. It's so refreshing.
Where was the girl that ran in? Where had she been bitten?
She was
Is it
bitten
her
on the
On
leg?
the
leg.
Okay.
ankle.
Yeah.
Okay.
She
And
tried
she
her
was
best.
going through it, mama.
Yeah, she was really.
I
Oh my god, the
I love
contortionism.
So
I
good.
love
my
the way
God.
they move. The way the
Yeah.
zombies
It's
move,
so
like
good.
So
It's very
twitchy.
twitchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when they're and it's like scary alone, but when they're in like those big hordes and it's like so
Oh,
frantic
God.
looking, it's just like so horrifying to see them all like how fast they move. It's like
Mhm.
This is why a lot of like Asian horror films scare the shit out of me because they know how to use body horror.
yeah. Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
body horror really gets me. I'm just like,
Yeah.
ah.
Yeah. And the special effects are so good. Like
Yeah.
when they start having like blood dripping out of their mouth and like
Uh-huh.
and it's such a simple effect, but having the eyes like whited out
Clouded,
is
yeah.
like
Yeah.
such a it just makes for such a cool zombie look.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to our queen, the fucking train attendant who gets bit first, and she's like eating this guy, and then the dad like looks at her and she's like, and it's just like the scariest thing you've ever seen.
Yeah, it's so scary.
I
I'd
was
be
like,
like, goodbye.
Yeah, there's a lot of moments of like while our characters are smart and they come up with like a lot of ingenious ways to like work their way through situations, there are a lot of parts where I'm like, fucking go, what the fuck is everyone waiting for?
That's how, yeah. There are a lot of parts that I'm like, because I was watching it with my mom, and my mom would be like, "Why are they standing there?
Yeah,
Why
go,
are
go,
they
go,
standing
go.
there?"
I think it's realistic though, because at least as somebody who's like had crazy things that have happened, I know that like you just like freeze up and you're like, is this real life? Is this
I would
actually
say-
happening?
Yeah.
I was
It
like,
Oh
I
fuck,
have
this is
froze
happening.
sometimes, yeah.
Oh, I should go.
Yeah.
All right, are we ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Section 2. The group escapes to another car and locks the doors. Internet reports and phone calls make it known that the epidemic is spreading southward across the country. After the train stops at Daejeon Station, the surviving passengers find the station overrun by zombies and hastily retreat back to the train, splitting up into different train cars in the ensuing chaos.
Oh, that just like jumped a
Discuss.
lot.
This was one of the most effective jump scares when they're driving through the station and it's all chill and it's quiet, and then one slaps his hand on the window, and Joel and I
Yeah.
both went, ah! Oh my god, it's so good.
It's so good.
I don't know
Like-
if it's in this section or in the last section, but I love that one shot where they had the camera in front of the zombie and the zombie's like going down the car and the camera's like
Ugh.
shaking with
Uh-huh.
it.
Yep.
That
Like,
camera
retreating
work
from
was
it.
so good.
Yeah.
Oh, one of my favorite shots, it's in this section, I believe, is when he's like holding his daughter looking, and it's the wave of zombies in the
Yes.
train car,
Oh
and it's
my
like they're like
God.
crawling on top
It's
of
like
each other.
so many.
It's literally,
Yeah.
it reminded me of The Last of Us, like when Joel's like running with his daughter and that like crazy zombies like chasing. But yeah, the wave of it, the whole time I was just like, ew, ew, ew,
Ugh.
ew, ew.
So that's like one of the moments that like when I think of this movie, it's like that shot of
Yeah.
like the zombies in the car running.
It's the one that you tweeted the gif of today, right? Where they're
Yep.
just like piled up to the ceiling, like going, yeah.
Yeah.
Ew, ew. Ugh.
Well, and just that feeling
And it
of
looks
like,
so real.
I mean, like, okay, so they know what's kind of going on because they're like getting, updated of what's happening. But that feeling of like they're rolling up to this station, it's like, is this safe? And it's like,
It's
oh,
empty, too.
it's so not safe.
Oh, I forgot
This is a-
Seku's mom calling and like
Hmm.
you don't realize she's been bit yet and she's like trying to
Yeah.
talk to him and she's like slowly losing it during the phone call and he's like,
Mhm.
"Mom, are
It's
you
so
okay?"
scary.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's so like because we've talked before about like how long are you still you before you become a zombie? So like
Mhm.
Mhm.
knowing you've been bit and using your last minutes to like try to like call your son and
Ugh.
And she's just like, like take care of that girl. Like I know that you're like, I mean, she's essentially saying like you're a shit father, but like you need to step up like immediately right now.
Yeah, but then she like calls the mom a bitch.
Yeah, but I feel like that's her.
Yeah.
Is that her turning or?
I think that's like it's like right at when she's turning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They never said why exactly they got divorced, so I don't know if it's totally his fault.
Yeah, we never know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she was a bitch. I don't know. I don't know her.
Could be. He's a bad dad. She's a bitch. That could all be true.
I also thought
But-
it was interesting that the news is saying that riots are breaking out, trying to take over
I'm
government
like,
property.
this shit is not riots.
But I was like, why are you trying to spin it like this is a political thing?
Mhm.
Probably because they're like, there's no reason to be afraid. It's
Yeah.
almost like we had a pandemic that was treated the same way.
Interesting.
That's probably how America would be gaslit into.
Yeah, literally. Fox News
What do
would
you
be
mean
like,
would be? We did. It happened.
Antifa is burning
Antifa
down.
is destroying downtown. It's like,
Antifa
it's a zombie
are
apocalypse.
zombies.
Yeah.
So
Antifa and Black Lives Matter. They
Mhm.
just
And they're like,
ruining
yeah,
everything.
Antifa zombies. You heard it here first, folks.
Too real.
Yeah, okay, so this is where they get
and
off.
when they,
Okay.
oh,
This isn't where they get off,
yeah,
right?
I was just gonna say when they arrive at the station, they like get there and the army is at the bottom of the escalator.
Oh, we're already at this station?
That's why I said
Yeah.
this jumped a lot.
Oh, this did jump a lot.
that was
Um,
because there's just a lot of like talking
Yeah,
in
I
I
between.
guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
when he
there's like
gets-
that first station that they sort of just like coast through, and that's where one hits the window, and then they go to the next station.
Yeah.
yeah.
I guess okay. So we skipped
Yeah.
all. We just went
So
over
it's
it.
all kind of the same sequence. Like they're on the train and then they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he gets that call and he's like, "Don't go there, go here," and then you see him like go off.
Mhm.
I would totally that homeless guy's like,
Yeah,
You
he's
following
like,
you guys.
I follow him. I
I'm
was like,
going
he
over
knows
there.
something I don't.
well, I mean, he was
I'm
in
going
the
that
train
way.
car when he was on that phone call. So he was like,
Yeah,
I
sure.
heard your call. Like you know, you're going somewhere where you're getting safe. I'm coming with you.
I
Yeah, which
would've been-
no,
I
you're
would have
not.
I would have at least been. I would have at least told pregnant lady.
He
Yeah.
doesn't. He only cares about himself and his daughter.
That's true.
Although
Where did you
I'm
just
I
end
just
this?
said that.
They get back on the
them
train,
getting
right?
back on the train after which I want to
Oh
talk
my
about
gosh.
is a shot of them going down the escalator and they all
Ugh.
of the soldiers turn around and you're
Literally,
like, "Fuck!"
literally nightmare. Literally nightmare.
Yeah, that
Where
I
they just like rush the escalators, which are bringing you down towards the zombies.
Yes, awful. And you have to run back up. Oh my god, nightmare.
This is when I want. This is when I want like somebody like Beefcake on my side because he acts so quick. Like he sees that and he's like,
yeah.
"Wife over
Nope.
edge.
Yep.
He over edge. We're going up." Like
Yep.
he acts so quick and it's so good. Like he's just so quick witted and everything.
This scene is set up so well because we have the dad and daughter homeless man. He's trying to go off in his own way, and you see one guy, and it's like I feel like it's pretty obvious that he's a zombie, but they obviously
Very
don't
obvious,
know
yeah.
yet. And you're like, oh, this station is not safe. And then that shot of like them just getting past the lip
Ugh.
and like all of the zombies turning and just like, oh my god, they're so fast and they're so
So
scary. And like
fast.
you said, it's like they're actively being moved down, and it's like
Uh-huh.
and like the people in the front of the escalator line are just like absolutely fucked. And then at the same time, you're seeing like the dad and the daughter realizing that guy's a zombie, and it's just like everyone's fucked. Everyone is so fucked.
This movie, I mean not this movie, this like scene is where I feel like the shoe like really drops on the
Mhm.
movie where it's like, oh okay, like it's the train or nothing.
Yeah, the military, the military is like zombies, so
I also like the contrast of like you see him do this selfish thing by like going off on his own, and then it's complemented by Beefcake saving him.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
it's like this complimentary thing of like, and I think that's when his like turnaround right there was
Mhm.
like,
And the homeless man saves him by throwing the
Oh,
shit
yeah.
on the zombie's face. So he gets saved
Yeah.
twice.
oh yeah,
I mean,
does,
and
yeah.
a lot of times in that scene, but
And
Yeah.
that's when Suwon says, like, you only care about yourself. That's why mom
Mhm.
left you.
Yeah.
mhm.
So he
Ah.
got humbled real quick, like 3 times
Mhm.
in a row. It was like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
like
like,
you
oh,
you
like-
actually
ass down.
you can't
Yeah.
do this by yourself. Like if you're
Yeah.
have any chance, you have to like work together to
Mhm.
save
Which-
each other.
that scene of all the zombies up against the glass and they're like trying to lock the door. I was like,
Ugh.
ah.
Oh my god.
I was
Any
so
scene where
good.
the zombies are up against a window and it's just like stacks and stacks of them.
Ugh.
And the
Like,
glass starts breaking, and you're like, just go. Oh my god, just
Yeah.
go.
That's the scariest part of it. They're so bloodthirsty that they are literally climbing on top of each other to try
Uh-huh.
and get. Oh my
well,
lord!
at the end of this scene, isn't it when they come from the top and are raining
Yes.
onto the train
Yes.
as they're
Falling
trying
off,
to
yeah.
leave?
Throw
Yeah.
themselves off the building,
Like-
like land on the train.
I'm so sad that more like the whole baseball team gets wiped out.
I
The-
know.
or like
Yeah.
I mean it's only like 3 guys,
know.
but it's like the other 2 get smoked in this scene. It's like, oh no.
And it's like he's sitting there watching all of his friends just drop like flies, like in front of him. Oh my gosh!
That
It's awful.
that one zombie that falls, and he falls like a character in Family Guy, and then he gets back up with his arm all crooked and starts
Oh my
chasing
God,
Oh my
after them.
God.
so good.
No,
good.
fuck that. I
Oh.
hate
Yeah,
it.
the body horror in this is so good.
It's so good. And I think it's actually
This would
so
never.
sorry.
No, I was just gonna make a stupid joke. I can do it in a second.
I think it's so impressive the sheer amount of actors they got to like
Mhm.
do it so well, because I feel like they even had to go in mind with all of their main characters being able to do like the zombie horror part of it, because
Yeah.
almost everyone gets turned. Yeah,
Mhm.
like the contortionism,
Yeah.
and like just you're seeing huge amounts of people all like giving their zombie all, and it's just like please,
Yeah.
no.
It's so scary.
Yeah.
It'd be so fun to act as a zombie though in this movie.
Oh
would be.
yeah.
I'm like, I want to do that. I want to be
Mhm.
creepy.
I got like when I was in high school, I like auditioned for Night of the Living Dead, and I auditioned thinking I was just gonna get to be a zombie, and I ended up like getting a main character role, and I was like, damn it.
I wanted to
Damn
be
it.
a zombie.
I wanted to be a
Can
zombie.
I be demoted to zombie?
Can I be in the ensemble?
I
The
feel like
ensemble.
Hey.
That was cool because we had the zombies kind of like go around the audience, so they were like wandering.
Oh my god, fun.
Yeah.
I feel like this scene too is where you really start to realize that the COO asshole like sucks. Because before you're just kind of like, oh, you know, of course he's just trying to like make sure they get to the right station.
He's
Yeah.
scared.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah, he's scared. He doesn't like. He seems
He's
like
type A.
yeah, you know.
He's not notable as being like the biggest dick in the world.
Yeah, he's
yet.
not an asshole yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is where like he starts like segregating the car trains and like pushing
Mhm.
people into
Oh.
into the zombies. I was like, fuck this guy.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the worst.
Yeah,
And
it's awful.
this movie leaves you on the edge of your seat so much, like when they're all like getting onto the trains, and like you said, they're like in different carts, and you see like Beefcake like running, and you're like, and
He's
then
not
he,
gonna
like,
make it.
yeah, and then he veers off, and you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, he
come
thinks
here.
so quick there when he grabs the shield.
Oh, he's so
like,
quick with it.
He gets the guy to pop back in because he
Yeah.
almost gets knocked, and he like grabs the shield and like knocks them all out. I'm like,
God, he's so
everyone's so
quick-witted.
smart. I love this movie.
Yeah.
Beefcake is, I think, my favorite character.
Oh,
I love him.
Oh, I love Beefcake.
Beefcake's a
Mhm.
slay.
Yeah.
Are we ready for section 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all don't have to sit with me. This is a long one, okay?
Oh, okay.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, where's the start? Okay, Seok-woo learns by phone that his company is indirectly involved in the disaster. The military establishes a quarantine zone near Busan, to which the engineer of the train sets a course. Seok-woo, Beefcake, and his wife, who have become separated from their loved ones, fight their way to where Suwon and not his wife.
Oh,
His
baseball
wife
boy.
is with
It's Baseball
Suwon.
Boy.
Baseball boy. Yes. And they fight to where Suwon, the pregnant wife, are hiding with the sister and the homeless man in the
Mhm.
bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Once regrouped, they struggle through the zombie horde to the front train car where the rest of the passengers are sheltered. At the prompting of the businessman and the rest of the train car, the passengers prevent the survivors from entering, fearing that they are infected. Sanghwa, Beefcake, sacrifices himself to give others time to force open the door and enter the car, but one of the sisters is killed. The businessman and the passengers demand that the survivors isolate themselves in front of the vestibule. However, The other sister, disgusted at the passengers and despairing for the loss of her sister, deliberately opens the other door and allows the zombies to enter and kill the rest of the car's passengers. But the businessman
Savage.
escapes by hiding in the bathroom.
Fuck him.
Discuss.
I literally fuck this guy.
Fuck him.
This
Okay,
is-
no, go ahead, Carson.
No, you can go ahead.
Not you.
I was just gonna say this is like my favorite part of the whole movie is them
So
fighting their
good.
way through the train.
They're so
Oh.
smart.
Yeah, they're so smart.
But they figure out how the zombies work so
Yeah.
quickly.
I feel
Yeah.
like you really glazed over by just saying like they work their way to the front of the train. That whole sequence
I know.
where they're
But
going
I
like,
figured we would get into it.
oh my gosh,
okay?
like so they go cart by cart, and once they figure out that when they're going through the tunnels, the zombies can't see them.
Yep. They're like,
Mhm.
Oh my
they-
god,
and they're like,
it's so
but
genius.
like when the zombies are asleep, they're still. It's so scary.
They're
'cause
so
just like,
scary.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
like
they're like.
I love
Yeah.
them.
I love that they have a cart to like figure it out, and then the second cart they use like the phone, so they like
Mhm.
throw the phone down to like get them
Yep.
all to the other side, and then they can go through.
mhm.
I will say another thing that like was like a little bit bothered me was when they were getting.
oh yeah.
Would you shut the fuck up? Oh my god. Praise for this movie. The part where they were getting everyone through the cart and they were all using like the luggage racks to get
Mhm.
across.
Yeah.
He was like, we've got 2 minutes to get through this. No way in hell could you get that many people crawling quietly through those luggage tracks in 2 minutes. I was like, no chance in hell.
Yeah, that's it.
It was just like a little
I'll
bit
give you
that
that
was
one.
like, that was
no,
not
but
a
this,
2 minute
there's
scene.
no way.
No.
Okay. But at the beginning of this, when Beefcake like shrugs off his jacket and they give us a little bit of fan service of his shoulders, I was like,
And he's just like bam, bam, crack, whack, whack, and you're just
Yeah.
Oh, it's so hot.
he's
Well,
so
and-
hot.
like, so
I love
effective.
just like the getting ready scene when like the three guys in the cart are like, okay, we gotta like fucking do this, and they start like
I gotta
wrapping
get to
their.
my
They're
wife.
like, I mean, and even another smart thing is like them wrapping their arms so they
Mhm.
can't, so they can use their arms and
Yeah.
not get bit. Is like, oh my god, they're so smart.
So smart.
I love them.
And then
Yeah.
when he
Yeah,
thinks
they're
about like using the
slay.
sound like to like
Mhm.
trigger them, that was also good. Yeah.
Oh,
And they fog up the windows with the fire extinguisher at the
Mhm.
beginning.
Yep.
There's
That's
another
so
smart
smart.
mhm.
They're so smart.
And it's such a good shot, like seeing like all of the glass go.
Yeah.
Like it's so
Mhm.
good.
I love it's. I mean, it's a hard one, but when they get to the train car with all of the baseball guys, and
Oh.
our boy just like freezes up because he's like,
It's
I
so
can't.
It's my friend.
Yeah,
It's my
he's like-
friends.
He's just like so paralyzed standing there, and it's like the other two
I mean,
guys are
but
getting
I'm trying to think
overcome.
like if I walked into a train car and it was you guys.
Oh my god, yeah,
I'd
it would
be
be
like,
awful.
It'd be so
Yeah,
hard because
it's
like,
what.
yeah, you're standing right there, but you're not standing right there. And it's just like
Yeah. Well, and what happens that because like the other two men are like getting overwhelmed, and then like something happens that they don't end up having to like, he doesn't have to like fight any of them. They're
Do
able
they go
to,
through a tunnel?
I
Is
think
that what
that's
it
when
is?
Did
they go through a
tunnel
tunnel.
and
The
they
first
can-
tunnel.
Oh,
I think
okay,
so.
okay. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was it's like, oh, I just feel so bad for him.
One dumb thing though, there's one part where Saku like has his shield and he's just like hitting the zombies in the toes for a second. And I was like,
that one was
Buddy,
a little silly.
What you
what do you
doing,
think's
bro?
gonna happen?
It's like
He's-
above him, just like.
he seems to
like-
realize pretty immediately. He's like, that's not doing anything. But I was like, why'd you even try it?
Yeah, silly.
It goes like fucking ow, like stop it, dude. Like
Stop.
Ouch,
stop.
my toes. Ow.
I really
No, I'm
hurt.
supposed to walk with those, dude. Jeez.
The love that Beefcake and Pregnant Lady have for each other is so
Girl.
cute. Like when he opens it and it's her and he's like so happy and she like beats his chest and he's like and like smiles and she, oh my god, they're so
They're
cute.
so cute.
They love each other so much.
And the fact that like his last words are like the name for their kid is like
For the baby.
That is just that's like the first like super heartbreaking part is when you know that he's turning and he like looks and he like looks over at him and he's just like go like protect them and then
Mhm.
he's just sitting there like I can't leave you but you have to because he's turning
Ugh.
and you could tell that he's fighting so hard not to turn, trying to keep them safe. Oh my god.
Well, and it's so stressful because they don't even have the door to the next part
No.
yet. So it's like, okay, even if they go, they're like still trying to get, like they don't really have anywhere to go yet. It's such a stressful.
The acting is so good because you could just see the desperation of them trying to get through, and it gets to the point where the baseball guy's just like, I just gotta beat the shit out of this
when
door.
he's like frantically beating at it. It's like
it's so good. Like it builds your tension up so high because you're watching him trying to fight it back. You're watching them trying to get through the door. Oh,
so much tension.
Yeah.
That fucking asshole. Like,
he's
God.
awful.
It's like, just open the fucking door. Like, oh my god.
They're
like,
holding that
they're
poor
not
girl.
infected, they're talking to you.
Yeah, you know they're not infected. Like,
well, and when the schoolgirl is like, oh, my friends just texted me, they're on their way, they're coming in here, they're like, what if they're infected? I'm like, how could you think a zombie can fucking send a text?
It's
really
texting.
Really?
Yeah, it's and it's just that whole scene when they get in and it's like already been this whole traumatic moment, and then they're getting like voted off the island in real time. And you're just like, oh my literal god. Like,
this is the part that I'm like, you're sending them to the safer part.
Yeah.
I know. When they went in there, I was like, that doesn't look so bad, actually.
Literally,
there's one more compartment back. That's where I'd want to be.
I'm gonna go with them.
Yeah, that's actually, I like this space of one more cart in between me and the zombies.
And that old lady being like, fuck y'all, I'm gonna be a zombie with my sister.
Like,
yeah.
Because like
savage. I love her.
Sister,
so sad.
and her just like making it's because that also like toys with the line of like, are you infected or are you still kind of there? Like they were like looking at each other.
I was watching this with my mom. She was just like, because when they first like get through, and she's like, my sister, and they're looking at each other, and you're like, bitch, move a little faster. And my mom's like, why is she standing there? Why is she standing there? And then she gets attacked.
Yeah, it's sad. When
I was kind of not sure why she was standing. I was like, who are you protecting by standing there? I don't get why you're not running.
Yeah, she was
but
standing there.
I think it was also to like, because then like the other sister was like, if you fucking assholes would have just let them in, my sister would be here with me. Like I thought I lost her. I thought I lost her. I see she's still alive. And then I do lose her because of you fuckers.
Like,
all right, I'm gonna be.
I'm gonna lose all of y'all.
I literally
let's all be zombies.
Yeah, it's so good because it's like, I guess in her brain she probably has like nothing to lose. Like she probably, all she had was her sister, who wants to live in this kind of world.
She's like, I'm gonna fucking die anyway, so whatever.
So
fuck all y'all.
let these people that suck go with me.
Yeah.
You're all zombies now. Bye, bitches.
I don't think that fucker gets away. Every time that Weasley little motherfucker gets away, I'm like,
how?
This
that scene where they just like cut, and he's like the door jiggles, and you see that it's like him and the other train attendant, and you're like,
how are you still alive, you asshole?
Motherfucker.
God. This is the area where I stopped taking
so
notes.
So awful.
Because it's so like intense. I just had my phone down. I have no notes after this.
And you can kind of tell like the main guy when they're in that cart, when it shows him, you can kind of see a grin creep up on his face. I noticed that because he's like, yep, those fuckers are getting what they deserve.
Yep. And as they should.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Because it just doesn't like. I get that they're
so frustrating.
They're all being little sheeples right now, just like, and you know they're scared and maybe not thinking clearly, but still like, put your fellow human first, dude.
Like you've watched these things change. They changed like pretty quickly. Like if they were bit, then
they wouldn't be standing there all calmly. Yeah.
This whole section is my favorite.
So frustrating.
Just that whole like with Beefcake trying to hold the door and Baseball Boy trying to break the other door.
The zombie's hands.
Yeah, I'm just on the edge of my seat, just like please.
And then he gets his hand bitten, and you're like,
when you see him get bit, you're like, no, Beefcake,
not you.
It could have been avoided. So stupid.
And I love how they tie it back because like in the beginning she like makes a joke and was like, because the dad can't decide on a name, and then like like you said, like his dying breath is like, this is the kid's name.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I did kind of want to kill I know it's not his fault, but the homeless man when he just like stumbles and falls between the seats, and they get held back, and he's
Like,
just like,
bruh, shut
choose.
up.
And then
He's
he
scared to move.
and then he crinkles the can.
Steps on the
like,
can. You're like, bro, some caution would be nice.
I'm scared I would be
Well-
that character in a horror movie. I'm like, sorry guys.
It's so, I was like, come on, dude.
Come on, man.
Like, they've been risking their lives to keep you in this group, and now you're gonna
Mhm.
fuck around.
Mhm.
You just hear the crack, and he's like, "Run!"
He's like, oh,
Oh,
do we have anything else for this section? We ready to go?
Mhm.
Yeah,
All right.
let's just torment us some more.
Let's get into it. This is I think the second before the last, yeah.
okay.
A blocked track at the East Daegu train station forces the survivors to stop and search for another train. The businessman asshole escapes after pushing someone else onto the track into the zombies, then later does the same with another person when they run into each other. Heartbroken, he stays. Oh wait.
Oh, is it Baseball Boy? I think the girl,
I swear I looked at this earlier and I don't.
the
These are two
schoolgirl
separate
name
names.
was Jin Hee, I believe was the schoolgirl's name. I don't think I ever caught Baseball Boy's name.
Yeah, Jin Hee is the schoolgirl. Okay, it is Youngbuk, and Yeon Suk is the businessman. So that's why I'm
Oh, okay, okay.
getting confused because they're so close to being the same. Okay, so the businessman escapes after pushing someone into the zombies, and then later does the same with Jin Hee, the schoolgirl,
Mhm.
and that's why heartbroken, the baseball boy stays with her until she turns and kills him. The train conductor starts a locomotive on another track, but is also thrown to the zombies while trying to save an injured businessman asshole. A flaming locomotive derails and traps the remaining survivors, but Seok-woo finds a way out. The rest of the group is trapped again by falling debris. The homeless man sacrifices himself to buy time for Seok-woo to clear the debris, and Soo-an and the pregnant woman escape onto the new locomotive. Discuss.
Oh, the asshole man is the cause of so much unnecessary.
He's the worst.
He's
So
just
bad.
he's the instigator for so many scenarios where it's like you just made that worse, not only for yourself, but like for everyone else.
For
and it's
everyone
so
involved.
frustrating.
Everyone else involved.
Yeah, because
like,
he leaves because he gets out with the train conductor guy,
Mhm.
and then shoves him, and
Pushes
then it
him.
gets in there, and then shoves baseball girl, and then you're like,
Yep.
because you've been following these characters, and they just go like that, like
it's so fast. Her turning.
When
yeah,
he him
Because of him.
Mhm.
yeah,
him shoving Jin Hee, I was like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Yeah.
I was so
Yeah.
angry. And then the poor baseball boy, he just like
He's so
holds her
sad.
as she turns, and then she like, and I would do the same
And
thing.
then
that's
Yeah,
also,
that's
I
one of
would
the
too.
saddest.
I mean, I know I'm going, you know.
it's
Yeah.
it's so sad because these are like, especially baseball boy, you just followed him like through this journey, and then they just go so fast and it moves
Mhm.
on, and you're like, you don't even have time to like process their deaths because
You got
you're
no
like,
closure.
yeah,
Jin
because they
Hee-
Like,
just
oh, we're on to
go.
the next traumatic scene.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
I mean, Jin Hee fought so hard to try to like protect them and get them
Yeah.
to the train. Just have everybody be like fucking asshole to her.
Yeah,
And then this dude just like shoves her in front of a zombie.
yeah, that they deserve
And she's fought so hard, and he has done nothing.
really
Nothing.
nothing.
That part where they wake up underneath like the tiptoe
Oh
train and all
my
the zombies
God.
are like on the glass.
Oh my
Oh
god,
my God,
nightmare.
so scary.
Nightmare.
Like, the director of this movie was really just like, what's like every worst case scenario for a
Yeah,
zombie?
because and it's so cool, especially I think like just how it looks, because there's like flames and everything, and they're like sort of in this dark place. It just looks like literal hell. Like
Yeah.
it's dark, there's
Uh-huh.
flames, there's like all of these hands frantically on the glass,
Does
and
look
you're
like
just
hell,
like,
yeah.
oh my God, this is
And it's like
awful.
slowly cracking. Like,
Ugh.
they're gonna get through.
Yeah, the tension of it is like so intense. And then that thing falls over like where the dad crawls out of, and he's like trying to get it off, and it's like, ah, get it out. So
The zombies
It's
start
just,
coming
like,
out that
awful.
one window, and the
Uh-huh.
homeless man is like, "I'll hold them back," and
Oh
just
my
sacrifices
gosh, it's so
himself, and you're
sad.
like, "No."
Because
Yeah.
even like the little girl's like, no, come, and he's like, no, go, and you're like, no,
Mhm.
not
No, I
no.
mean, he's been acting kind of stupid. He kind of owes it. to them.
That-
He's been acting kind
Yeah.
of stupid the whole movie.
It's just the way that like this, like I don't want to be like this movie teach a lesson, but it really teaches a lesson like being just a kind person, like and
No,
not being-
Yeah.
really.
because it starts off, you got this like selfish main character, and as it goes along, everybody is just so kind except for asshole bitch that makes it through the end.
Mhm.
But like everybody's just so kind, everybody helps, like you're the main characters that you're focused on, they're all like focused on getting each other
Mhm.
out, like it's just like and it just like it keeps
Because I feel like in that scenario,
It's so good.
you would be just I feel like it's just human nature to want to help people, because you would be like, well, I wouldn't want to be the person left behind. So like if I can
Hell no,
maybe
bitch.
if there's a way that I can help like a couple other people, like I feel like that's in most people's natures to
yeah.
God, when the train conductor like jumps out of the train to help the businessman and he just like throws him in
Oh.
front of the zombies.
That poor train conductor guy.
He
It
was literally he was
He
so
did his
sweet.
what job?
yeah.
How stupid do you
trying
have to be to kill the train conductor? Like, you need the train conductor to work the trains.
And
that
this,
you're
this train
escaping on.
conductor, this whole movie has just been trying to get people to
I
safety.
know,
Like
he's been like
Yeah.
doing the PA system, like making sure
Yeah.
everyone knows what's
Try to
going
get y'all to
on.
Busan.
yeah.
God.
God, it's so like, yeah, I do feel like this whole movie is like about like how bad individualistic thinking
Mhm.
is and
Yeah.
how like we need community. Because I even feel like it was like going back to the whole how they're like portraying this in the news, being like, oh, it's riots and don't
Mhm.
believe baseless rumors. It's like
Yeah.
this is really all about like the like corporations and individuals and businesses and whatever just looking out
Trying
for
to save their own
themselves.
skin. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's annoying because I'm just like, this is how a zombie apocalypse would go.
It really is.
Yeah.
This is what
Would.
would happen.
All of the rich would like have their safe houses while we all
Mhm.
suffer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the fact that that line where they're like, "Don't believe baseless rumors," and they're like on a train with zombies. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's baseless rumors anymore. Like, people are dying on a
I
train.
think we're in danger.
I think it's actually real.
I don't think these people with cloudy eyes and blood all over their mouths are rioting.
Yeah, no, I think they're not.
I think there's kind of something bigger happening here.
Yeah.
Don't
Okay,
know.
and I know that there's like some. We've all agreed there's some speculation on the asshole guy once he gets turned into a zombie, like that he takes, like he's turned, but he's still like talking and stuff. And I
That's
feel
the
like
next section.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that you were there.
No, I haven't got there yet.
Okay.
I don't have anything else. Though.
Let's hold our horses, okay?
Pick
Horses.
up that horse and hold it tightly.
Okay. Okay, I see the horse in her
Firmly
hands. Okay, we're
grasp
good.
it.
No, not that one. That was me grabbing both the reins, but
Is that
Oh
spirit?
yeah. Stallion of the Cimarron?
Yes, it is. But he can't be
Zaddy
Thomas.
of the Cimarron.
Oh my god.
All right. After fighting off the horde of zombies hanging onto the locomotive, they encounter the businessman asshole who is on the verge of turning into a zombie and is begging for help. Seok-woo manages to throw him off, but is bitten. He puts Soo-won and the pregnant woman inside the engine room, teaches the pregnant woman how to operate the train, and says goodbye to his daughter before throwing himself off the locomotive. Due to another train blockage, Soo-won and the pregnant woman are forced to stop the train at the tunnel just prior to Busan. The two exit the train and continue following the tracks on foot through the tunnel. Snipers are stationed on the other side of the tunnel and are prepared to shoot at what they believe to be zombies, but they lower their weapons and rush towards them to help them when they hear Soo-won singing Aloha Oi.
Not.
God, why is that so fucking sad?
What the fuck, bro?
Just the acting, like when he realizes that he gets bit and then he runs and like gets into safety, and like she's like desperately like begging him not to leave her. I'm like gonna cry thinking about it, and then you could see him like try to hold it together, but then like all of the realization of like, I'm gonna die, I'm about to leave my daughter, and he just like
Well,
starts sobbing, and you're like,
well, and his
Like him
and
crying
his
and
last memory, his last memory just being her being born.
as his like
Like
eyes
he
are
like,
turning.
oh my God.
He's just like, he doesn't, he's like gone totally zombie and like doesn't even, can't like, all he can think about is that memory, and he's just kind of smiling to himself dreamily and then just falls.
And I think it's
Yes.
beautiful, and it was a scene that very much made me think like this is like an anime frame when it's just like his shadow
Oh,
falling off the train,
Oh
and you're like,
Oh God.
God.
It's
But
literally
that,
so fucking sad.
like his mom on the phone, his like getting Suan and the pregnant lady situated and then having those memories of her as a baby, and then like the asshole businessman kind of, was he like kind of reverting to like being a child, because he was
Yeah.
being, he was like, my mom is waiting for me, this is my address, hey mister, can you help me?
I think maybe it's just like I think it
Maybe.
was just showing that he was just like really scared, like that sort of like last. I feel like you see that a lot in movies where people are dying, and that's sort of like their last moments of
They're
just
like,
like,
I
I wish
want
I
my
was with my
mommy.
mom. Yeah, like I
Yeah.
want my mom.
I wasn't sure if he was like, because when Saku is like going, he's kind of just remembering something like from years ago. So I wasn't sure if like asshole businessman, his memories were also getting fuzzy, and he was kind of remembering like when he was a kid or something.
It could be.
That
Because
could be it,
him
'cause also-
calling someone younger than him, he calls him ajasi, which is like Korean for like what you'd call an older man. But obviously the businessman
Oh.
is older than him.
Yeah.
So I was like, is he like reverting to like a kid or something? And he's like, hey mister, can you help me? My mom's waiting for me.
Maybe.
I was just like, how long are you?
Yeah.
Like, that's just so upsetting. I hate that in zombie movies when like you're still you for a little bit and you can like call someone as you're turning. Like, I hate that.
Yeah,
Oh.
because Beefcake kind of smiles too when he turns, so like maybe he has like some kind of memory.
I think it's like because your
Yeah.
brain is maybe like going.
Melting.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you're like getting those like back memories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't it's
It's
so
so sad.
sad.
What the
It's the part
fuck?
where like he's on the side of the train, like heavily sobbing, and you can hear the daughter like screaming in the car,
Screaming.
and you're just like, oh my God. I feel like Korean movies or like Korean productions are so good at capturing like the human emotion of like really distressing situations, and you just like, oh, that moment where he is just like fully sobbing and she's screaming, and it's just like so unbelievably sad.
Yeah.
And it,
I'm
you
like
could
literally about to tear up like thinking
and you
about
could
it.
tell
Oh my
like
God.
the way his acting is, because it just like hits him, because he's like standing there as she's screaming, and then he just starts sobbing, and then that's when you're like, oh God. It was like,
Yeah, because at first he's just very like, okay, you gotta stay here, you stay here, this is how you drive the train. Okay, I'm sorry, honey, I gotta go. And like once she's like freaking out, he's like, oh
yeah,
oh my
fuck.
God, I'm gonna die.
Yeah,
I am going
I'm
to
never
die.
gonna see her
and
again.
not only
Yeah.
like I'm gonna die,
Yeah.
but like she is just so desperately doesn't want him to leave, and it's almost like the last thing that he has to do, even though it's to save her, is like disappointing her again.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
oh,
And Suwon, she says something. When he's like, okay, I gotta go, whatever. And she's like, I'm sorry, this is my fault. And I was like,
Yeah.
she feels
No!
guilty because
Yeah,
she's the one that wanted to go to Busan.
she's gonna grow up like all sorts
She
of fucked
feels
up.
guilty. No.
I
Let's be
remember
honest. Is she gonna grow up?
Probably not.
I remember the first time I saw this movie, it's just like, it was like, damn, damn, damn. And as soon as he got bit, I was just like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And then when they're
I
going,
know.
and then when they're going through the tunnel and they have the gun ready, I was literally like,
No,
I swear to God, if they do this, if they pull a mist on me right now.
Yes.
Oh, the mist is like the most heartbreaking ending
I literally
ever.
thought, are they gonna pull a mist on me right now? Like, what is And then she
Yeah.
starts singing, and you're like, oh,
And then
oh
it's
my-
like she's
The song that she
sobbing.
couldn't sing for her dad.
and she's like crying like as she's singing it, and you're just like, oh.
I'm gonna cry.
Oh, and the poor pregnant lady,
So
like
sad.
her water breaks, and she's just like in pain, and she's just got to keep going for this little girl that she like just met a few hours ago, but she's like struggling to walk, and you're just like, they're both having the worst day ever. And it's Suwon's birthday.
It is her birthday.
This shit sucks, bro.
And then they go save them, and you're like, as soon as like they were like they lower their guns, I was like, thank God. I was like, I literally would have thrown my remote
if everyone had
if
died.
they just shot these two people. I'm like, you gotta be get it great.
If she hadn't been singing, they would have been shot.
Yeah, that he geared up. He had them in his sight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
like,
ready.
he was touching the trigger, and then he
Yeah.
like hears the music, and he's like, "Oh wait, are they
They're
singing?
human. They're
Zombies
human.
can't sing, can they?"
Oh,
God,
it's so
God.
good.
I didn't cry on the second watch just because I'd already seen it, but the first watch,
Oh,
I was
God.
like,
not all right.
I was ugly sobbing, like couldn't catch my breath. The like sobbing the first time I saw it.
I was
I like
crying.
this
I watched
movie.
it last night. I was crying.
Yeah, I feel like how many times I watch this movie, I'm gonna like even just talking about it. I was like,
Oh, I
"Don't
just cried right now.
cry."
I know it's literally so sad. Well, and I was getting a little worried because you guys had all said that you were like crying watching it, and I was like almost to the end, and I was like, I haven't cried yet. Am I just like not feeling emotionally connected to this movie? And then it was like when he got bit and he's crying and she's screaming. Then I was crying, and when she's walking through the tunnel, I was like, okay, no, I just hadn't gotten to the part.
We didn't talk about the like the huge ball of zombies like weighing the train down.
Oh,
So scary.
like you mean the most iconic shot of the movie?
Yes.
Like for real?
Like fuck. Like
Uh-huh.
and then the other zombies like crawling on top of the
Crawling
zombies.
on top.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like they play it pretty cool. I mean, he just like kicks all of their hands off and they let go, but it's like that could have been
That shit's
bad.
scary as fuck.
Yeah, that was like a really not a good situation to be in. Oh.
And the music at that part is so like boom,
Mhm.
boom.
Oh
Oh man.
God.
Yeah, this whole movie is just a fucking roller coaster in the best and worst and sad and fun way.
Oh,
Mhm.
and businessman, because Stuck was like, you can't go home. You're infected. And he's like,
Mhm.
You're going to die.
he like looks at his hands. He's like, no,
Mhm.
what? And I'm just like, can you imagine like realizing you are a zombie?
That
Yeah.
would suck.
No. No, I
Oh,
literally can't.
I cannot.
Mm.
Has
No.
anyone seen the second one?
No.
No.
I heard,
I want
I
to
heard
now.
that it's not very good, which is a bummer.
Yeah, I think that's why
It's
I
such a
hadn't watched
bummer.
it, because I heard that it wasn't good, and I was like,
What's it called?
I think I still want to try though.
Yeah,
What's
I
it
mean,
called?
I would watch it.
Peninsula or something.
Oh
Peninsula.
yes, yeah, that is what it's called.
Yeah,
Oh,
I haven't watched it either.
it just really sets the bar. I just feel like with zombie, it's easy to go like, I don't know. I just think it's more effective when you hit like more of like the really emotional beats. But I feel like
Mhm.
Train to Busan
Yeah.
hits those, but also like has crazy zombies. Because like
Mhm.
Last of Us is more about the emotional beats and it's a little
Yeah.
bit zombie
Yes.
light, which is great. Like that
Mhm.
works.
Mhm.
But like this hits the emotional beats and it's zombie heavy, bitch. Like
Yeah.
Heavy.
it is not light on the zombies. Which is
Well,
cool
Which
to like
I will
have
say,
that.
my backup pick for zombies was World War Z. I love her.
I haven't
That's a great
seen
movie.
it.
Slay.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
It's fast zombies too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
World War Z is great.
I only know that one clip from the trailer of like the zombies trying to get up the wall and they're like crawling on top of each
Iconic.
other.
Iconic scene.
I kind of want to pick. I'm gonna start my vendetta to get zombies
Oh
again.
my God.
So I can pick World War Z.
That's fine. I got two more I could pick.
But yeah, so are we good?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
That was Train to Motherfucking
It
Busan,
was.
y'all.
This is a great one
We
to end on.
did.
Yeah.
Such a good
Do you
movie.
feel
Such a good movie.
do you feel like your quest has peacefully ended now that you've reached this goal?
Yeah, by about 0.25 of a point. Yeah, I
Mhm.
feel like it has.
Good. I might knock a point.
9 point.
Yeah. No, I can't knock
Yeah,
it.
my 9.812 pick is just perfect for me.
Good.
Also, I'm totally kidding. I just live for a bit.
She's a great film. We all know it.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Speaking of great films, I think we have our next category lined up. And Lauren, I feel like you're the next pick, so should I let you introduce our next category?
I will. So, if you guys follow our Instagram, once we finish a block, we let our viewers vote on what our next cycle of, subgenre of horror will be that we will all be picking a movie from. And this month, you all voted for Mindfuck, which I feel like is a very interesting one that we didn't have on our original list. And
No, but it works.
I'm so excited.
I know. I feel like we're like really gonna get into some shit in this block.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
Can I ask what clarification for what exactly does mindfuck entail?
I feel like it's more of a vibe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
True. I also agree.
I mean,
it's
you all know what I'm picking. It's like that vibe. Oh,
I have no idea what
I
you're picking.
literally picked that we've talked about this. I was like, what does this movie fit in the category?
This is going to be cut from the podcast.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So I feel like it's something maybe with like a crazy twist, or I think it's mostly in the category of like psychological thriller or like psychological horror. So something that's just like really
really traumatizing.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
So yeah, as we've said, we're going into like, I feel like we've been playing like child's play at this point. I feel like we're getting into some shit here. So my pick for the first movie in our mindfuck category is a French horror that premiered in 2008. It chronicles the journey of a young woman and her friend seeking revenge against their childhood abusers, only to find themselves plunged into a living hell of depravity. It currently has a rating on Rotten Tomatoes of 64% from critics and 69% from audiences. My pick is the movie Martyrs.
I'm ready to watch.
I've never seen it.
And this is,
I haven't either.
Like, I was really actually quite hesitant to pick this because I've only seen it once. And it was like, I just remember being like so fucked up. That I have thought for a while that it's a little bit too much for the podcast.
Wow.
But I feel like since we have introduced a mindfuck category, this is very much what it is. Like when we said mindfuck, I was like, oh, Martyrs is the one mindfuck movie that I have watched. And I'm like, this movie is a lot.
I don't know anything about it. I'm scared.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Because I watched Martyrs like a long time ago, and then like we were talking about something, I can't remember what it was, and I was like, I'm gonna rewatch it, and I did, and every time I watch this movie, when it ends, I just sit there like,
it is fucked up. I actually looked up like the triggers for it before picking it because it's just like a lot, and I was like, I need to make sure there aren't any like ones that are on our no list. So yeah, I don't even remember I must have liked it because I'm picking it, but it is certainly like she's a lot. It's
there's no essay in it. So
no, there's no essay
okay,
and no animal anything. So I wanted to make sure that those were not going to be an issue. Good. But it is, I will say, for
it's got everything else.
It's like it's very torture heavy.
Oh God.
Okay.
So I just want to like put that out there. This one's a doozy.
It's one of those movies that like though, like, they have like torture porn movies just for the sake of being torture porn. This has like meaning.
The torture is like the point of it.
Yeah, you'll see when you watch it.
Yeah. So
I'm scared.
I think it's going to lead to very interesting discussion. Am I excited to watch it again? I think so. I'm a little scared of it.
Great. Where can we watch it?
Okay, it is.
Thanks.
Yeah. So this is kind of a tricky one because it's on. So it's
Oh
on
no, guess we can't.
Pluto, Tubi, Vudu for free. It says it's on YouTube Prime Time subscription, Apple TV for $3.99, and I believe you can buy it on app or Amazon, which we had to buy it when we watched it a few years ago. So, and I think it's maybe cheaper than it was, but yeah, it's kind of like a hard one to watch. But
when I watched it,
Give me your login.
because I had watched it like last year and I rented it on Amazon, so I think.
Oh, it is rentable. Okay, that's
yeah.
good.
Slay.
But yeah, everyone look out.
Wait, make sure
Make
sure you watch the French one because there is an American one. Not
Gross.
Yeah, it's the one from 2008 and it's a French movie, so make sure you watch.
Want me to watch
French?
I remember when I went back to watch it, I was like, oh, it is free. And I clicked it and I was like, this is not the movie I saw.
Ooh, yeah. So I think we're gonna have
a we'll watch it.
Discussion next week.
I'm so excited.
Slay.
I'm scared.
I'm excited and not excited at the same time.
Yeah, I am too. And I know it's my pick and I should probably know more about it other than watching it once, but I'm excited nonetheless.
I'm like getting cold chills thinking about that scene.
Woo!
I know. Yeah. Okay.
I'm scared.
Okay.
So everyone
lead us out, girl.
Join us next week for Martyrs, the first movie in our mindfuck block. And we will see you next time.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Fuck my mind.